We go straight into the first semi-final of the lightweight men's double sculls. And a 6-crew lineup, as you see. And in a moment, we'll be able to see the new traffic light system for getting these crews underway. There's no gun anymore. The light simply changes. A beep on the hooter. And away go the 6 crews for this first semi-final of lightweight men's double sculls. First 2 crews to the A final. Third and fourth will go to the B final, and the tail enders to the C final. John Pritchard.
Once again, the crews got away very quickly and very cleanly under the new start system. They're through that crucial 100-meter mark, which means there's going to be no callback if there are any breakages thereafter. And the field will now settle down, try and get into the rhythm for the race, and see if they can establish a pattern which will carry them through the middle part of this race, where 2 are to qualify direct for the final. So what we're looking for, once again, is to find out where the third marker is, because the third marker, third placed boat, will dictate the pace of the lead 2 rather than the lead crew. And as you'd expect with a lightweight field, as we've seen several times so far in this regatta, a very evenly matched crowd, not more than a couple of centimetres or a couple of kilograms between these crews. So we can expect some very close and some very fierce racing.
Sweden going out into the lead at the moment. They've taken with them several other doubles, with Greece well up there on the far side.
Certainly at the moment, through this early part of the race, there's a very frenetic pace being set as they go through the 500-meter mark. There's really nothing to choose between those first 4 crews. Very beautiful shot there across this wonderful lake, where thankfully the conditions have calmed down. Had some very varied conditions today. We've had some headwind, we've had some crosswind, had a little bit of drizzle, and finally we've had a major downpour. But certainly nothing disturbing these crews now as they make their way through to the 1,000-meter mark in this first heat. Just to remind you again, only 2 crews to go through, and we're now finding, as we approach halfway, that 2 crews just starting to get their noses in front. Sweden in lane 4, the early leaders.
Well, the Greeks, 11th place at Lucerne, managing to hang on grimly. They realise they've got it all to do if they're going to take a second qualifying place, but I got a sneaky suspicion that the experience back with the Norwegians and the New Zealanders is going to allow them to come through at a later stage, and the Greeks are probably going to burn up early. They're going to expend all their energy down this first 1,000 metres, and I anticipate that they'll fall back down the second half of the course.
Well, certainly a very brave gamble from the Greeks, and if it pays off, good luck to them. Certainly, as usual with the semi-final qualification, the crews that are going to qualify will really dearly want to do so, having expended as little energy as possible. But certainly the Greeks here have put it all in through this first 1,000 metres. They're just going through now. So we've got Sweden leading, with Greece very close behind them in second, maybe only 3 or 4 feet. And the Norwegians a length behind those 2 crews. Although I feel the Norwegians starting to come through, starting to hit their stride. A very elegant, long, graceful stroke of the Norwegians. Norwegians settling down at about 35, 36 strokes a minute. It's a very solid pace. The Greeks were somewhat higher than that through the second 500, which is where they've made their bid. Norwegians starting to draw back to get on level terms with the Greeks as they go through the 7:50 to go marker. Swedes still leading. Very economical, metronomic style. Greeks rather more physical, you'll notice. The Greek stroke man anxiously glancing across. He can see that Norwegian bow starting to creep back up on him. Doesn't want to let it get any further than that, but there's still another 500 or so metres to go.
Norway beginning to come through the Greek crew now as that sustained burst of pressure from the Norwegians carries them through into second qualifying slot, but an excellent performance from the Greeks. I really expected them to fade a little earlier than this, but they've sustained that push as well. As you say, John, a physical performance from the Greek double. 11th place at Lucerne, and very, very keen to do a lot better than that this time round, but only 500 meters to go now, and they're beginning to fall back. So, in this first of 3 semi-finals for the lightweight men's double sculls, it's Sweden who maintain the lead that they've held throughout the first 3 quarters of this race, followed in second place currently by Norway, Greece in 3rd place,
New Zealand coming through to start to challenge through the closing stages of this, what's turned out to be an extremely tough, very physical first semi-final in this men's lightweight double sculls. Greece digging in hard. It's been a fine performance from them. Norwegians just showing ahead of them now. In fact, the Norwegians, I suspect, are going to challenge the Swedes for the first place. Once again, as we see in these lightweight competitions, extremely close. Wonderful races to watch. Swedes digging in, sitting back, hoping to hang on. Once again, the Greeks kick. Swedes pushed on, hanging on to that first place.
They've got to stay ahead of the rest of the field, because more power to their elbow. The Greeks have really maintained the pressure. Okay, they can't come back on that half a length that the Norwegians have got, but they certainly didn't fade substantially. I think it was the push from the Norwegians that took them in the lead. And 3 crews vying for the next places. So Sweden followed by Norway. And then I do believe it was Russia that grabbed 3rd place across the line, came through strongly on the inside through that last 300 meters.
And it was in fact neck and neck with Greece and New Zealand at the finish there to see who came 4th and 5th. A splendid effort from the Greeks there.